Hello and welcome to The Real Hernando, presented to you by Wesley Meadows Retirement Community and produced by SRP Studios Podcasting. This podcast spotlights Hernando, Mississippi's businesses, organizations, and community leaders. You will learn more about what each business or organization provides, and you will get to know the person or people behind it all. Please follow us at therealhernando.com for all channels and social media platforms. Now a word from our sponsor. Each day at Wesley Meadows is a new opportunity to serve older adults and reimagine retirement living. It is the heart of their mission that inspires their team to provide the kind of fun atmosphere and care residents would want for themselves. Experience the warm spirit and faith-based difference of Wesley Meadows. Call 662-429-2070 and schedule your visit today. Welcome back. I'm your host, Derek, and today we are spotlighting Pokcha's Egg Rolls, LLC.
Correct.
Pokcha's Egg Rolls, LLC is a Korean Fusion Takeout located right here in Hernando. Today I'm speaking with owners Jessica Hurdle and Brandon Jenkins.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, you did,
Okay,
actually.
very cool. So yeah, it is a Korean Fusion Takeout. So much to unravel there because I want to get more specific and help educate the community on what it is exactly that y'all serve and do. And I know there's a backstory because you used to be a food truck or maybe still a food truck and doing both.
Yes.
And then I also want to get to know the people behind the businesses. I'm a big believer that people buy people.
Yes.
So we'll get to know you guys a little more too.
Okay.
But let's start with educating. Let's learn more about Pokcha's and what it offers. So we'll start with you, Jessica.
Okay. So I just wanted something to represent like who I am, and we just had the idea of egg rolls, and that's how we got started. But of course, I am half Caucasian and half Korean, and so I grew up here in Hernando, and I ate Korean food, but I also ate Southern foods. You know, so I wouldn't say that it's just one thing that would define the things that we're doing. And so I wanted something to represent like who I was.
Sure.
And I think that's what we're doing. So we're using the real Korean authentic elements like the bulgogi and the kimchi, but we're doing things like putting them on the wonton chips, right? Making nachos out of them or making fries, and that kind of aspect. So
mixing in the American stuff too.
Yes. Yes. So,
hence the word fusion, right?
Yes. So you're getting real elements there, but it's just with the twist.
So your store is located on 131 West Commerce Street.
Yes.
Right. And pokchas.com, POKCHAS.com.
Yes.
Can they order online? Do you have anything access in that way?
For the food truck, yes.
Okay.
You can do that.
So you started as a food truck. When did the food truck start?
In 21.
Okay, just right out of
Right out of COVID.
Right out of COVID. But I guess a food truck works though because you're outside.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And the restaurant actually helps make the food truck easier because it gives us a place to prep and a place to store food. And if we don't use all of our food for a particular day on the restaurant, we can use it on the food truck.
Yeah.
So it one helps the other.
Sure. Because before, where were you doing all the prep?
Well,
in the truck.
In the truck. Yep.
Which is limited in space, obviously.
Yes.
Is it a truck or a trailer?
It's a trailer.
Trailer. So it's even less space, right?
Right. Yes. I mean, we made it work though.
Yeah.
It's a struggle at first, but we learned as we went, and you learn how to make things easier and tweak this here and there.
So what was the genesis of starting the truck to begin with?
Well, I was coming out of teaching with COVID. I was doing some military orders, and I just had a lot of time. And it's something that I got triggered with on military orders. I ate a food truck in Little Rock, and this lady just inspired me, and I was just, Pokcha's my mother, and she was always known for her egg rolls. Like, everyone loved them, right? They couldn't get enough of them because they were fresh, and just when people bought them, they bought like huge bags at a time. It was a hit, total hit. And I just said, well, you don't really see an egg roll food truck. You don't see that. And it's like the perfect food that you can walk and hold, right? Like fair food.
Yep.
So that's how that got started. But then he never had bulgogi, and I took him to eat bulgogi one time.
What is bulgogi?
It's Korean marinated beef that's like savory, garlic, soy sauce, Asian pears. Delicious,
Sounds delicious,
right?
yeah.
Thinly sliced. He hand slices it all. But he tasted it for the first time. He was eating it like once a week thereafter. And he's like, okay, we need to do this. So that's how that was triggered.
You know, being from Hernando and growing up hunting deer and things like that, it reminded me of kind of like eating deer meat.
Okay.
So I kind of fell in love with it.
Okay.
And before you know it, I had her going to that restaurant 2 or 3 times a week. So, you know, I figured I'd better learn how to cook it or we were going to go broke.
Save a lot of money, right?
Yeah, right.
So you're originally from Hernando?
Yes, we both are.
Okay, so okay, very cool. Well, we love Hernando, don't we?
Yes.
Right.
You guys have seen some changes.
Very
For
much.
sure. Okay, well, we've covered the introduction of the food and the idea, but what's that process to start a business? Is this the first time you ever do this?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'm a former school teacher. He happened to, be available as well. He just left the corporate world of, management, retail management, and we just came together, and I'll let him speak about it because they were all his connections, people that were able to it was just like a perfect timing in the place. So
well,
good.
After I kind of fell in love with the food and the culture, it's a beautiful culture, Jessica had been talking about opening up a food truck, and my best friend, Mike, he opened up a food truck in Memphis, around 2017, became very successful, ended up being on the Food Network. And, I guess in 2020, 2019, before COVID, he moved to Florida. So when her and I connected, I was able to leverage his knowledge and resources, and it was very advantageous for us because it allowed us to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go and find great events, good events. He was able to make phone calls or send emails and kind of get us in the door.
That's massive. That's huge.
It was huge.
It's
It can be good and bad.
You need to leverage that opportunity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you have to really have your stuff together. Yeah. And, we're not chefs or anything by any means, right? So we've had...
we are.
We like food. We love food, and we love to eat, right?
Yeah.
But it's very different when you're cooking for masses of people.
Yep.
We do the Botanic Garden Live at the Gardens. There's 6,000 people there a night, right? So
it's a lot of egg rolls.
Right. And, we've gotten, comments. Why is it so expensive? Well, because we're hours into labor, before we give you a product. So it's,
Plus, we can talk about food costs.
The grocery store, right? You all go, we go to the same places you guys go. So
yeah. And, are you familiar with Kim Daly at CDL Cheesecake?
Mm-mm.
I always bring her up when it comes to food costs because what's the main ingredient? Eggs. And you know how much more expensive eggs are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those things add up.
Cream cheese, probably. What
made us go buy
Yeah.
chickens.
Right, there you go. Yeah, so it's a tough world out there. And being a small businesses, anyone that understands small business and, quote, mom and pops, you got to understand the prices are going to be more. But what you're getting is something that's priceless.
Right.
It's unique, it's special, it's local, homegrown, if you will. Okay, but great idea. You get some resources, but there's still a learning curve that you can only learn by taking it on and just driving forward. So, how did that process look like when you have to buy a truck and figure out how to engineer it and
lots
everything?
of homework.
Yeah.
And that COVID time allowed me the research time because I was on those orders, and everyone was kind of at home. I was homeschooling at home, and I have 3 daughters that have been amazing in this process. They're teenagers, and they've all been able to help. So
nice cheap labor, right?
Right.
Very cheap
Sometimes because they're harder on me, but they, that's their grandmother, and they take pride in it, and they actually have cooked with her and rolled those egg rolls with her, and so that's it's just special. Yeah.
And with Jessica, she's a very driven person, and you kind of have to just kind of like strap along for the ride, you know, because when she makes up her mind to do something, she's going to do it. So, you know, I guess it started out with, I just so happened to be in the credit repair, you know, so we looked at our credit and made sure we were good to go there. And then, you know, before you know it, she's on the phone with some people about a trailer, you know, and she's like, look at these pictures of this trailer. And the next thing you know, I'm looking at the actual pictures of the trailer that we're purchasing, you know, so
I guess we're getting it.
Just started happening, you know, and the trailer was built in Houston, so we had to go to Houston to pick it up. And I guess like, I don't know, a week or two later after we got the trailer home, we were off and running, doing our first event at Buena Vista. Bridgetown. Yeah, Bridgetown.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Oh, they were trying to get us before we even we were ready. Miss Vicky there, she was wonderful. She totally believed in us.
That's good to have. Again, going back to those connections.
Yeah.
They were just waiting for you. So the trailer was completely outfitted already. So it had everything you needed. But you still probably had to brand it, right? Put your logo on it. And
they had a wrap. They had it. It came wrapped. Yeah. The biggest thing, though, I guess, starting out is not knowing the processes, not having standards and, you know, operating procedures on everything. You know, we didn't know how to serve 100 tickets, you know, in 3 hours. Yeah. You know, we don't know what that looks like. The logistics of buying food and prepping food, how much food to prep. You know, because we don't have culinary backgrounds. You know, we haven't been to formal culinary school where they teach you about, you know, food and how to purchase it and, you know, what to buy and how many people, what you're going to need for how many people, you know. So having to figure all of that out and in real time, I guess.
But that's sometimes the best way. It's painful.
Oh, it's painful.
It's painful at the front end, but you're going to get more more education in the first 6 months than you would in a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Baptism by fire.
Exactly. And it's painful, but it works. You just got to jump sometimes. You know, were you having situations where you're running out of food and having to zig and zag?
Yes.
Sometimes, but probably more so making too much food, you know. You know, being... Because we're kind of like that.
We found out we could never roll enough egg rolls. It did not matter. We always prepared. We were like, okay, next time we'll just do more. We would still sell out. It was just like the egg roll part.
Yeah, we even like second guess naming the food truck egg rolls. I was like, Jessica, we should have just named it Poke Josh, you know, so we wouldn't have to have egg rolls every time.
Yeah.
We thought about retracting that bag, but the egg rolls is what reels people in. If they're wondering why it's Poke Josh egg rolls, it's because that's the number one thing, right, that she was known for. Everything else is kind of us. But the egg rolls, we feel like reels people in because when they see that, they're like, ooh.
Yeah, and it's a niche. You know, there's something to be said about niching down. If you had a truck and you just said Korean cuisine, okay, well, what? Okay, that's great, but that's a big blanket statement.
Yes.
Right.
What do you specialize in other than what subcategory are you specializing in? Straight up, egg rolls. People get it. And like myself, a lot of people love egg rolls. So I could see why they'd line up at the truck. So yeah, you can't roll enough is what you're saying. How do you prepare? Tell me about the botanical thing. You mentioned it earlier. How many people?
Sometimes it's like, 5,000 to 8,000 people.
So you just have your trailer out there and you're just, you know, you must have a line across the field.
There's other trailers too. There's
about
how many do you think hit your truck?
Jessica, about 150 tickets maybe on a crowd that size, 200 tickets maybe.
Yeah, it's like 30% of usually what's there. You know, kind of, and then divided by the number of trucks there. It's kind of how we've learned that ratio that you can kind of count on.
Another great reason to be niched is you're different than the other trucks.
Right.
If you have 3 trucks serving burgers but only 1 serving egg rolls, you've increased your odds, right?
Right. Yes. There's a lot of barbecue trucks here.
For sure. I can't understand why.
Right?
Not very many egg roll or Korean trucks.
Yeah. Right. I think we're the only Korean. There's like Asian fusion and just some other like Japanese or Thai. But
so go back to the very first one. Where was that you mentioned? The first event
Bridgetown.
Bridgetown. What was that?
It was just their HOA. They host food trucks in the neighborhood, right, for their residents. And we went there, and it's epic. The whole day, we were there for about 4 hours. And someone told me initially, they were like, your first day, you need to have a runner. You need to have someone prepared to go to the store for you because you're going to run out of something. Mm-hmm. And so it was like the to-go plates. And my cousin was there, and she's the one that ran to the store for us. But our line was like so long, and the people didn't care. Like, they stayed and waited for her to go to the store and get back with the to-go plates. It just like made us feel so good.
Yeah.
Just
meanwhile, the anxiety's building.
We were just like so worried, that no one was going to show up or no one would like our food, and they were just so excited and received us, and we're just very thankful.
Enough to have that patience to wait.
It definitely gave us the confidence to keep going.
Was that the only snafu? Was the plates? Did you run out of anything else? Was there any other first-time issues you came across that were hard lessons to learn?
There were several, but I think that was the big thing. Maybe, that sticks out the most. We had a lot of help, but so many people, friends and family stepped in and just was there for us, and just, and it just made all the difference for sure.
Where did it lead you from there? What was the next one you did?
Was it to GPAC? Germantown Performing Arts? Like, that was another big one we did. Like, he totally believed in us. His dad was Air Force, I believe, and stationed in Korea, so he just couldn't, he heard about us and he just couldn't.
Your dad?
No. He's the guy that runs the show, venue there.
Yeah.
His name's actually Brad Pitt.
Brad, yeah. And
there you go.
So, Alex Grisani, the owner of Elfo's, is the one who, because he runs a food truck too, he couldn't do the gig. And he's like, hey, text this guy. This will be good. Go give it a try. You're the only food truck. Yeah, we had no idea.
So at this point, obviously these are just the first two we're talking about, but are you looking at one event a month? Are you doing weekly? Like how?
At least once a week now.
So now it ramps up.
It started out as like, at the time, we thought that we might be getting into other things. I was doing trucking at the time. So we kind of started off. She was still working in the military at the base. So we thought, okay, well, we'll do this on the weekends and, see what happens. Well, a year later, that's basically all either one of us are doing because I think we kind of saw something special there, based on the feedback we were getting from customers, and it is fulfilling for us to work for ourselves, having worked so hard our whole lives for other companies, to have that, being able to just kill yourself for yourself was a good feeling.
Well, the number one question was, do you guys have a restaurant?
Yeah.
And so that happened nearly every time we were out. You kept hearing
more and more of that, and it's like the light bulb goes,
well,
right?
Actually, the number one question was, Jess is really good at creating stuff, so she came out with this Korean corn dog. Yeah. The number one question for a year was like, do you guys have Korean corn dogs? And we didn't ever have them because she couldn't quite get the batter right, but she kept working with it. I've had them in Korea,
right? So I'm like comparing to my experience in Korea, like having them, and it just, I didn't want to do it unless it was right, but yeah.
But she kept working with it, got the batter right. And I think when we started doing those, that kind of pushed us up another notch,
Sure.
And gave us more confidence to start thinking about a restaurant. But, like I said, with the food truck, she gets something in her head and you kind of just have to strap on, for the ride. Because I guess about a year ago, she had gotten back from Kuwait. She had a deployment in Kuwait and she started talking about doing a restaurant.
And then the Durans, they posted on Facebook. We weren't ready. We had no plan.
When you're opening the store?
Yeah, we have was it in January, December?
I think so, January.
So, you're talking like a month or two turnaround. We just said, okay. And
well, it started out her looking at it on Facebook. or looking at the space.
We had kind of been looking anyway. We're like, okay, let's try to see. And we could never find anything in our range with a Vent-A-Hood, right? Because we have to do a lot of frying. But then she posted it that it had the Vent-A-Hood, and this is the location. We're like, Hernando, oh my gosh, my kids could work there and be safe, so.
Right there on Commerce Street.
Right there on Commerce. And
before we get to the store, because I definitely want to bridge to that, back to the truck. For that first year, are you doing multiple events a week at this point?
We're doing multiple events a day. At sometimes.
It bumps up to
so
lunch and dinner.
Like you said, it's like, you know what? It's time to really take the big leap and put all the focus on it. Because we were talking about off air. Sometimes if you're trying to focus on too many things, they all kind of suffer from it.
Yourself too thin.
Yeah. So that's amazing that it just fired up like that. And also, marketing 101. I'm not a marketing genius here, but you're always trying to supply a need, a solution for a problem. And you're getting the best marketing feedback ever when they're just constantly asking you about a specific thing. It's like, okay, I guess we got to do these corn dogs.
Listen to them, yes.
Yeah,
sure.
so it's like jump on it because the need is there.
And we were constantly hearing, we're so glad to have something different. A different choice.
Yeah. But knowing that people kept asking for it, you're like, well, this one's going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying, what might they like?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And luckily, I can't stress enough the role she played in growing the social media, because that takes a tremendous amount of time.
Amen to that.
There were times where I'd be driving to an event, she's posting on social media, responding back to customers, giving feedback, and answering the phone. She's got a laptop in her hand, her earbuds in, talking on the phone. I'm driving to the next event. Looking back on this, you kind of like are amazed that we were able to do it, like that.
How it happened.
The way you did it, though, and note to any small businesses out there that are trying to work your social media, it's more than just posting. The fact that you're engaging is key. Respond to a comment, respond to a message, follow them, work into that Facebook community. That's key, isn't it?
It is, because a lot of customers would reach out on Facebook and ask to book, right, or even text or call or email, and they're like, thank you for responding back.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to book. Thank you guys so much for showing up. And I'm just, I couldn't imagine. You gotta have that. You gotta
have that conversation.
That's what we worked for, right. So, and I just, teaching is my first love. That's what I originally did, right? I was a teacher until 2020, but I draw on those experiences too of like, I have eaten Korean food in every continent almost, like Kuwait, Korea, Japan, in Hawaii. I've had Korean food all over LA. I've had it in LA, here in Memphis, and I just take all those experiences that I have, and I really try to bring what I like, to the table.
And maybe what not to do.
And what not to do, what stuck out to me, and what I feel like people in Hernando are ready for, right?
Yeah.
So I would get a lot of feedback of, well, you should, this is not real Korean, but I'm like, I don't think we're ready for the moving octopus legs yet. I don't think we're there yet.
I can see that on the side of your food truck, just big octopus legs.
Yeah, that's not like what I would eat, right? My mother would have, but she could never get me to eat authentically, right? I had to have it.
That's asking
my
a lot,
way, so.
Right, exactly.
That's
How many times were you asked that at the truck? Do you have any octopus legs?
No, never.
Right, exactly.
Never.
Never. I mean, honestly, like we had, at one point her mother's actual recipe for the egg rolls, original recipe, had Spam in it.
Okay.
And they weren't even ready for that.
They were a lot of people were like, Spam. I'm like, no.
I love Spam.
Me too.
I raise my hand. Thinly sliced on the frying pan.
Yeah, it's like bacon.
Yeah, it's great. Caramelize it.
That's a lot of what we eat,
Yeah.
But
so knowing, what we could get away with is a big part of it too.
So now let's get to the store. So what year are you starting to think about this? Just after a year of having the truck? So are we talking 22?
It was probably last fall.
I would say, she went to Kuwait the summer spring of 2023 and got back the fall of 2023.
Okay.
So at the end
Sometime
of
after she got back is when it all started.
like I said about the Durds, like Miss Darlene, she posted and she's like, "Would someone like to take over our lease? It's an old, it's a business in Hernando," and I don't even think she posted the name of it.
Well, for context, because we spoke about this off camera, boba cream. If anyone remembers boba cream,
Right.
It was a bubble tea, a boba tea place, which I love. Another very
I
niche,
loved them. Yeah. I
another very
loved them.
niche thing.
Yeah.
The boba tea
Yeah.
scene is growing,
Yeah.
big time. But in Hernando, it was the only one.
Yeah.
I loved it. But yeah, so they decide that they're going to wrap it up. So she reaches out to you.
I reached out to her.
Okay,
She
because you
gave
find
me
out.
the landlord's information, and I never heard back from her. It had been like a month, and I said, have you heard from her? Did she get, did you guys lease it already? She goes, no. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to call her. Just going to call her. She answered right away, and I looked at it the next day. And then the wheels just started turning.
Yeah. You start visualizing,
Yeah.
right, what you can do.
Yes. And it needed a lot of work, but like the vent hood, needed some upgrading. It was, but it worked, right? So it's what we needed, and they have just been. I just want to say first off, like I really adore them because he's had Air Force experience as well, and he actually was stationed in Korea.
Yep.
So I thought that was cool. But yeah, my girls were like their number one customers as well. So we were in there a lot.
So Ryan and Darlene Duran, who we're
yes.
talking about, and I mean Ryan spent years overseas,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where he got the idea.
Mm-hmm.
He brought what he learned from overseas,
Yeah.
and brought the
And
bubble tea in. Yeah,
Yes. I just feel like everything meshed really well and happened right on time, So it took us a few months to get all the work done and, pay as we go type of thing. But we were able to open the end of June, and we had a very successful grand opening.
yeah.
It was huge.
I was actually at a ribbon cutting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
I don't
was.
remember. It was a
Thanks for
blur.
being
Okay.
here.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys were running around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Busy, and I usually like to introduce myself when I go to the ribbon cuttings because of the podcast. Hey, would you be interested? But I could tell you guys were busy. So
Even though we had 3 years experience with the truck, the restaurant piece, the restaurant brick and
It's
mortar,
different animal, yeah.
Yeah, because like with the truck,
yeah,
if I need something, I can just turn around and grab it.
That's right.
It's everything's right there,
Yeah.
and there's so many more elements to a restaurant, like Centos and getting your grease traps and emptied and
all the inspections,
and
Plus, let's face it, much more overhead.
yeah.
So tighter
Huge,
profit margins.
Yes.
And probably had to rethink of what you bought, how much you bought.
Yeah, there's no rent with a food truck.
Right. Yeah. So it changes how you buy your product or your food and everything, right? So
Right.
totally different learning experience. How's it been? So we're wrapping up, as we wrap this year up, we'll say 6 months of operation. How's it been?
We're still getting lots of new people that never even heard of us, right?
Yeah.
So they some people don't venture on this side of town very much, but they'll drive by and say, "Well, what is this?" Or we're having a lot of repeats as well. So I feel like we're getting a lot of good feedback. So I think it's going well.
Definitely moving in the right direction. I
Yes.
would say trending positively.
Good. Good. I mean, that's all you can ask for in the first 6 months. First
Right.
year, first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's a long game.
Right. And, I guess coming from that food truck and having over 10,000 followers on social media, once you get a certain amount of followers, they kind of follow you around to your different events.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't necessarily translate to your restaurant in Hernando, so having to, kind of realize that we've got to build this one up just like we did that food truck. It's not like we can just step into a perfect situation, so we are definitely dedicated to being here, and, it's our hometown, and we feel a certain kind of way when we
Just get to
are
be here.
able to be here with a restaurant,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
And share what we're doing.
And
It's
congratulations on that, because it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard. I would never know the first thing about opening up a restaurant or a store or anything. My business is a much easier platform or business model, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The chance y'all take, the chance the Derns did with Boba Cream and all these boutiques, it's admirable, because it really is tight, and we're not these big corporations, right? You don't have
Right.
you don't have millions of dollars of cash flow to fall back on. You know.
No.
Are you still doing the truck?
Yes.
Both, so you're balancing both. Is the truck as busy, or did you slow the truck down?
Slow down.
We slowed down. We didn't slow down until like right before we opened. We actually were very aggressively running the truck all throughout the spring and early summer because we were having to fund the restaurant project. So we kind of slowed down around the July, August. But we talked about it. I guess when we first opened, we didn't know if we would be with the food truck as much, but we are going to continue to be aggressive with the food truck as well as the restaurant. So we're going to do both.
So I would say it's seasonal, right? So this winter, you're going to be kind of forced to slow the truck down,
right?
Which gives you that time. All right, let's hyper focus on the store.
We always go back to that first winter we had.
Oh my gosh. There were times we were skating down the highway, to go to a gig.
We would go to some.
I like how you call it a gig. I like that.
Yeah.
We would go to some events,
and he's out there with the hairdryer because the propane's
locked
frozen,
up on
and
me.
he's like thawing it out that cold.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
What event was this?
Love Honor.
Okay.
The nurses needed lunch, so they're
Grind
first
City
responders,
Brewery.
So
yeah.
we go to St. Jude a lot as well. So we'll be doing that this winter. So
That's cool.
But yeah, we've been through it. We've been through it.
I don't want to miss this because in the notes you gave me, you already mentioned Alex Grisanti
Grisanti, Grisanti
from Elfo's. You also mentioned Mike Stanley.
that's his friend with the food truck.
Oh, okay. That was I missed the
Stanley's
name.
Street Treats.
Stanley's Sweet Street Treats.
I'll let you say it for me. When he moved to Florida, did he take the truck with him? Is he still doing it?
He
in
does.
Destin, Miramar Beach area.
Another cool aspect of food trucks, you
Go
take
anywhere.
your business with you.
Right.
Obviously, you guys do it to your gigs, as you say, but you can move across the country and take your business with you.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Tell us more about your store hours. And
we're going to change it up a bit. So since we were running the food truck so heavy, we had to modify our schedule there. So we were closed Sunday through Tuesday, open Wednesday through Friday, 11 to 2. And then we split and do the 5-day dinner and then all day Saturday. So we're going to add Tuesday to the openings, and we're going to open an hour earlier for the dinner.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
It'll be 4 to 7.
And they can order online, like you said, which again is pokchas.com, POKCHAS.com.
Or Uber Eats for the restaurant.
Okay.
So we do have Uber Eats.
So connect with Uber Eats.
Up to 10 miles out.
Okay. That's
it's
awesome
12.
to know.
12, actually.
12. Then it might bring you into Nesbitt, right? No,
Yeah,
I have no idea how
Actually,
many miles.
we were surprised how far it goes. Like we've got some friends who live by the academy on
Pleasant
Goodman.
Hill. Yeah, elementary.
Pleasant Hill up there near Olive Branch.
Oh, wow,
and
cool.
Yeah, they can get it. So
Well, that's good to know.
Right.
Because Uber Eats is, or whatever app you might use, it's nice to be able to have it come to your house. Phone number, can they call and order?
They sure can.
So the number you gave me is 662-912-9277.
Yep.
Well, this has been awesome. One final push here before we wrap up. Is there anything you'd like to tell the community about your store?
Yeah. So if you have a private event, you need to host a birthday party or baby shower, we're going to start having Sundays available to do that. You can rent the entire restaurant. Also, if you have a big party, you want to have like a small birthday get together, just call us and we'll, no problem to reserve a table for you.
Okay.
But we also do catering. We can do drop off. We can bring the food truck out. So consider us for sure.
Very cool. So how can they contact you if they're interested in renting or
email,
getting the truck to their
you
location?
can message. We're on all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. But definitely pokechawseggrolls@gmail.com is probably the best way. You can call the store. There's also a catering request on the website, the pokechaws.com. They can put
their information in and let you know what they need. And
yep.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's awesome. I'm excited. I have yet to come over there and try it, so shame on me.
That's all right. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
right.
But I'm a fan of egg rolls. And hopefully because of this, some people that don't know about you yet have learned about you. So
yes.
that's always the goal. So
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. Before we say goodbye, though, let's thank the audience for hanging out. We appreciate you sticking around to the end of this episode. Go to the realhernandopodcast.com to find all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Go click the link of this episode and learn more. By now, you've probably already clicked on the website, right? That's why you're here. But spread the word. Copy that URL link and put it on Facebook. Spread the word, please. Find their posts on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Leave a comment. Share a post. So helpful for everybody. And again, thank you to Wesley Meadows Retirement Community and all of our other wonderful sponsors for powering this. We do appreciate you. So once again, we got Jessica and Brandon, Poke Chaw's Egg Roll. Go check them out, everybody. And until next time, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.